Hooked on the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches, the best way to experience Florida. Proudly produced in partnership with the Palm Beach County Film and Television Commission.
Welcome to another episode of Hooked on the Palm Beaches. This morning we've got a very special show for you because today we're going to be out inshore on the Intracoastal Waterway in Lake Worth Lagoon, and hopefully we'll get our hands on some snook and some other species in this Intracoastal Waterway. Oof, look at that. Oh, it's on, man. Look how beautiful the sunrise is this morning. It's going to be a stunning day. Stay right with us. There he comes up. Woo, look at that. Pretty fish.
We got a big one, boy!
I don't think it gets any better than this.
I just cannot believe how many fish there are here.
This is why you come here, this is why we do what we do. Off of Palm Beach, bro. This is the kind of Jurassic Park stuff that lives out here. Woo! We did it, brother. Nice one.
It blows me away the fishing opportunities that we have in and around Palm Beach County.
Some of the best game fishing that you can have in the entire world.
All right, I'm gonna run to the next cut and cut them off from the side. Looking to catch fish, not make friends.
Yeah.
We're gonna go up and hit some islands and look for snook. Start out with some topwater fishing and see if we can get one. We're in the Lake Worth Lagoon. Just came into like the West Palm Beach area and we're going back in the mangroves. Try and find a little peace and quiet, see if we can catch fish. Definitely not the place where you'll come catch 20 fish, but you have a chance of catching a really big one. You have to really hit them with it, especially the snook. They're ambush predators. They're not gonna swim to go get it. Casting around will get you jacks, ladyfish, bluefish, stuff like that, but the snook, you have to come up with a method and make a lot of casts. It's a very tough fishery here in Lake Worth. Gotta work for it.
Little snook.
James got him a little snook on the topwater.
Well, that's a little start. We've only been fishing about 15 minutes and little tiny baby juvenile common snook. There are actually 5 species of snook in Florida. We've got a large-scaled fat snook, a small-scaled fat snook, tarpon snook, and sword-spine snook, and then this baby, the common snook. These are the ones that get the biggest though, so up to sort of 45 inches, really big fish. Great start, small, juvenile, common snook. Let's let him go.
They're sitting in that little channel in between the 2 oyster bars. Still after you.
Coming behind me.
There you go, nice snooky.
That's a better fish. Nice fish.
Keep his head down a little bit. There we go.
Pretty fish. Oh yeah.
Woo!
That's a better fish there. Probably what, 26 inches would you say?
Right about that.
Around about 26. Look how beautiful they are. Look at that lateral line going down the side, which gives it its other name, linesider. Snook is actually a Dutch word, which comes from the Dutch word for pike. which is a freshwater fish. Snook are very adaptable, so they can be in the open ocean along the coasts. They can be in brackish water in lagoons like this in Lake Worth, and they can also be right up rivers into fresh water. Incredible fish. Beautiful and delicious tasting, but we're not eating these ones today.
No. Gotta be careful with releases in here because Lake Worth Lagoon is also a nursery for bull sharks. And they hear all the splashing and they're definitely around. Little ones like this big, they'll get your fingers for sure.
That was awesome, seeing that bow wave behind.
Oh yeah, you worked right behind it.
Sick. Coming up next, we'll show you how scientists are helping to preserve and protect our fisheries here in the Palm Beaches.
Hooked on the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches and Palm Beach County, the best way to experience Florida, and by Pelagic High Performance Offshore Gear.
The West Palm Beach Fishing Club has been actively involved in tagging juvenile mutton snapper in Lake Worth Lagoon to support fisheries research and conservation efforts for years. In collaboration with organizations like the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and Florida Atlantic University, the club has facilitated tagging initiatives aimed at understanding the movement patterns and habitat utilization of these fish. These initiatives exemplify the club's commitment to sustainable fisheries management and habitat protection in the Palm Beaches. Let's climb aboard to learn more about these amazing fish and conservation efforts.
So what we're attempting to do today is tag juvenile mutton snapper here in the Lake Worth Lagoon to support a research effort being conducted by FAU Master's candidate Brent McKenna, and we are collaborating with him to help make his research project a little more efficient by getting West Palm Beach Fishing Club members out here catching some of the fish that he intends to tag for his study. Our goal is to tag juvenile mutton snappers, and part of the intent is to learn more about this important species of fish. It's important both recreationally and commercially because the life cycle of a mutton snapper requires that they spend the early portions of their life in an estuary like the Lake Worth Lagoon here. So estuaries like this one play a really critical role in their life cycle before they move offshore. We're trying to learn more about these fish because they're really important, and estuaries like the Lake Worth Lagoon need to be healthy to support a resource like mutton snapper. So part of our research and collaboration with folks like Brent at FAU and the Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission's Wildlife Research Institute are designed to try to help unlock some of the mysteries to these really cool game fish. They're just such a popular recreational and commercial fish because they're great eating. They have to be 18 inches to keep, but these fish can grow to over 20 pounds. So it's really important that we have estuaries like the Lake Worth Lagoon so that we're helping recruit new generations of mutton snapper to move offshore. Let's let this guy go. So tagging fish is really part of the West Palm Beach Fishing Club's DNA. It literally started over 50 years ago, assisting researchers in trying to learn more about Atlantic sailfish. It was really the very beginning of the cooperative game fish tagging effort that paired recreational anglers with marine scientists to try and learn more about the behaviors of the fish, the migratory patterns, age and growth information. And so the tagging program really has its roots at the West Palm Beach Fishing Club back in the late 60s, early 70s. And we used to use dart tags back then, and fast forward 50 years, technology has improved where we're actually using electronic transmitter tags that have a unique ping to them. Each fish has a unique ping that has been tagged, and that information can be detected by underwater acoustic receivers. So we learn a great deal through this program. There's a small mutton right there. That's the target species. This is a juvenile mutton snapper, and a lot of people misidentify this fish when they're fishing in the estuary because it looks a lot like a lane snapper. But one of the best ways to distinguish a mutton from a lane is its pointed anal fin. A lane snapper has a rounded anal fin and is a little more yellow. The blue line underneath the mutton's eye is another giveaway, but it's really this pointed anal fin that is the dead giveaway to distinguish a juvenile mutton and a lane snapper. And you can see this is a very small mutton snapper. They have to be 18 inches to keep to harvest. But again, the Lake Worth Lagoon is a critical estuary for juvenile species of mutton snapper and other snappers for that matter, but especially the mutton snapper. And we see a lot of them here in the lagoon, so it's really important to try to improve the water quality of the lagoon and increase marine habitat like seagrass, oysters, mangroves to support animals like this. We're going to let this little guy go.
So we take a little fin clip from the anal fin. It's a pretty small piece, but we're just trying to extract DNA from it. It's even a small amount of genetic material is enough for us to tell, or to get a genetic profile of each one of these fish that we can then compare to other genetic profiles from fish caught from the adult population.
That's a good one. There he is. Yay! That's the one right there. Beautiful fish. All right.
Hooked on the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches and Palm Beach County, the best way to experience Florida, and by Pelagic High Performance Offshore Gear.
So what's really cool when we do this, we inevitably catch a wide variety of species in the lagoon, which really emphasizes how important this estuary is for a lot of different species of fish. And one of the species that we've been seeing an increase in the last 5 or 10 years is bonefish. And lo and behold, right out of the chute, club member Dan Miller catches a nice Lake Worth Lagoon bonefish while we're trying to target the mutton snappers. Come on over here, let's take a look at that fish. Look at that fish, what a beautiful animal. Oh my gosh. People think of the Bahamas or the Florida Keys or Belize when they think about bonefish. Rarely does the Lake Worth Lagoon come into the conversation, but more and more we're seeing a lot of these really cool fish in the lake. This is a beautiful example. And another mutton on the bow.
Once we've caught a mutton snapper and we've gotten it appropriately stored away in a live well, we want to ensure that we understand where it came from and try to get a better understanding of what environmental conditions brought it there. So we take note of the location in which we caught it, the time in which we caught it, and then that information can be used when it's paired with the location data that comes from tagging the fish to better understand how they're moving around the lagoon. So we're going to take a lat long coordinate, and then we'll go ahead, pull that fish out of the live well, and get it tagged. These are the Vemco V9 acoustic tags that we're using to tag mutton snapper. They're small enough that they're not taking up more than 2% of the body mass of the animal, so they don't inhibit the animal or make it behave in a different way than if it just didn't have the tag at all. You can probably tell they're fairly small. They're smaller than the size of a AAA battery. What that means though is they have a somewhat limited lifespan. These tags only last for about 2 years before you no longer get any data from them. But during that time period, they transmit a unique identifying code that is detected by a receiver within a certain distance. of them. And as a result, you get an idea of where these animals are, as long as they have one of these tags attached to them.
All right, it's just not a fishing trip unless you catch a grunt. Some people call them blue stripe grunt. See the blue stripes underneath its eye? It's a species of grunt, very common.
Oh, that's a nice one.
We're making Ken a citizen scientist today. Out here assisting our electronic transmitter tagging of juvenile mutton snappers. He's going to have a degree after today. The Lake Worth Lagoon is an underrated body of water, you know. It's got a lot to offer, and all the more reason why we want to really try to increase habitat, improve water quality, because the fish will come if you can take care of the resource. And so we're really invested in trying to increase mangrove habitat, oyster habitat. We clean the water, the seagrass will come back on its own. It's a special place.
What's interesting is Lake Worth Lagoon is really anthropogenically impacted. So if you look at its shoreline, almost the entire thing is developed. Yet we have so many high-profile sport and food fish that call this lagoon home for at least part of their lives. It's a really interesting environment to be able to do research in. Once we have tagged all of our mutton snapper here, and we will get that data back from their movements within and hopefully outside the lagoon, we'll have a better idea of how at least this species is utilizing the lagoon, and hopefully how the mutton snapper is actually utilizing estuarine habitats. It's not going to be the whole story. This type of thing is really quite complex, but it's a great start. It's a great way to take a look and start answering some questions that can later evolve into some more complicated questions. And hopefully, once we put all these things together, our idea of what's happening in the lagoon, as well as throughout the mutton snapper's habitat, will be a little bit more complete. We'll be a little bit better able to conserve and manage the species so that our future generations can also enjoy this beautiful animal.
We just want to make researchers like you more efficient at your work by being able to capture these animals and get them tagged in an efficient manner so that the study can really move forward in an expeditious way. So really thankful this all worked out. The whole idea is to capture data that gives resource managers the ability to better manage the fish in a sustainable way. So if we learn certain things about certain species of fish that we really didn't know, that we might be able to tweak regulations so that the populations stay abundant and healthy, and so that we don't overfish some of these fish that we all love to fish for. So the end game here is to try and manage the fish in a really sustainable way so that we have fish to catch tomorrow, because that's why we're here. We love to fish, and we want to be able to catch some tomorrow. All right, that's a wrap, man. We got a lot of fish today. I would call it a success.
Hooked on the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches, the best way to experience Florida. Proudly produced in partnership with the Palm Beach County Film and Television Commission. Lake Okeechobee is Florida's largest freshwater lake and a paradise for anglers from around the world. Often called the Big O, Lake Okeechobee spans over 730 square miles and is absolutely teeming with largemouth bass, bluegill, and crappie. Its shallow waters and abundant vegetation make it a perfect habitat for these species. Lake O is a four-season fishing destination. While winter and spring are considered peak times for bass fishing, crappie fishing shines during late fall and winter. Soft plastics like worms and craws, spinnerbaits and topwater lures in the morning or evening can produce giant largemouth bass. Use live minnows or small jigs around weed edges and submerged structures to catch the delicious crappie. Fish closer to the shore during spawning seasons late winter to spring and deeper areas during the summer.
Local fishing guides are available to help maximize your angling experience and navigate the lake's expansive waters. If you're looking for trophy fish, this is the place to be. But fishing isn't the only draw. Lake Okeechobee is also a haven for wildlife enthusiasts, offering stunning scenery and diverse animals and habitats. Whether you're here for the thrill of the catch or the tranquility of the scenery, Lake Okeechobee delivers an unforgettable experience. So grab your gear and let the adventure begin at Lake Okeechobee, where every cast could be the catch of a lifetime. Tight lines.